Alright, here's my review of the Magnetospeed Sporter. When it was working for the first few shots, it looked pretty good. But now there's this error with the plug on top here. If I just ever so slightly move the plug, it ends up turning off or giving me an error 2, or saying that the bayonet is unplugged. If I try unplugging it, plugging it back in, goes through the setup, and okay, so it looks like it's working, and then as soon as you see I just moved it slightly, then it says it's unplugged, and then it goes to good. So maybe I just have a defective unit, I don't know, but I read some other people saying that they had to basically put some kind of tension on here to hold it, just to keep it from going to the unplugged mode. But yeah, now I suspect that it's actually the end of this cable here. I think it's just a cheap cable, and I think that the connections inside the cable are not making a good connection, and that's why it's having issues. I've actually taken this apart and looked at the circuit board. I have an electrical background, so basically the jack is soldered directly onto the board, and there doesn't appear to be any cold solders for the 3.5mm jack. So everything looks good on the board itself, and the jack's not moving on the board. It appears to be with the cable itself. I did unscrew this screw just to see if this would come apart nicely, and it did not want to come apart. If you look through these holes, oops, that was from an attempt of trying to repair this. If you look through these holes, you can see that there are little kind of tabs, I guess, that go all the way to the top of this thing. And if you look really closely inside, which it may not show up in the video, but it looks like it's actually glued. The tabs are glued in, so I don't think you're going to be able to get this apart without damaging it. So I'm going to go ahead and send this guy back, and I'm going to maybe try a replacement. I don't know. The quality, just the fact that this is glued in, and the fact that I think that the plug itself is what's bad, and not the board. The board I probably could have fixed myself, but not this plug. I was hoping that I could maybe buy a replacement to fix this plug, but after trying to disassemble this and seeing that it was glued in, I could see without causing any damage. I'm not going to be able to replace this without causing any damage. So this is a huge flaw in my eyes. It's just that this cheap cable's really causing all kinds of chaos in the design here. So I wanted to share that with you. So one more time, here it is plugged in. Looks like it's good to go. Just take my finger and slightly push on the little cable, and you see it ends up turning off the unit. And then when it does come on, it says bayonet unplugged. So, and even if I held this like in this manner, try to take a shot, let me see if the last readings are still on there. The shot readings were, the 580 off of a 6.5 Creedmoor. Now I should note that my barrel is 1 inch, and it is pushing the maximum, but I have shot this. I have shot it with this chronometer. I'm not sure if I'm saying that. Chronograph. I have shot it with this chronograph before, and it was coming up with what I assume was accurate readings. It was more of what I expected 2,700 roughly. So anyways, I just wanted to share that people, seems to be a big issue, and you might run into that if you purchase this. This is the Sporter. It is not the version 3. It is the Sporter version. I don't know if the version 3 has the same deal, but that's my experience.